Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Katie and this is our Missouri Life. Today we are going to be making some Mickey pumpkins. So this first pumpkin that I'm going to show you how to make, you're going to need some foam, a utility knife, some scissors, a pumpkin. I just used a pumpkin from Michael's that I had on hand from last year, but they of course have them. Grab a coupon. There is some acrylic paint too that I had on hand, but I think I got that from Michael's and the Dollar Tree is where I got that. And then the other thing that you're going to want to grab is some moldable clay. I used the one from Michael's that is the air dry clay. The other thing you're going to need is some kind of paintbrush. I like the foam brushes from the Dollar Tree. Oh, the Model Magic. That's what I used. I just grabbed the white. They do have orange, which I thought about afterwards that you could use orange on this next project. I went ahead and I wiped it off because I had used it last year, and see how I had cut out the other side to say welcome. I am going to fill that in using the model clay. So at this point, you're going to take your craft foam and your utility knife and a marker, and we are going to shape the two foam circles into kind of crescents that we're going to fit onto the pumpkin. Now this is just going to be dependent upon what size your pumpkin is and what shape your pumpkin is. I just started with a small crescent that I'm going to cut out with a utility knife. Just be very, very careful. And then I just continue to kind of cut away at the foam to fit it to the side of the pumpkin here. So here I am going to open up the Model Magic. It is kind of sticky, so I recommend leaving that foil sheet once you open it up, just so you can set the rest of it on it. But then I am just going to start flattening it out and molding it around the ears and then around the pumpkin. Now that I have the pumpkin molded, I am going to create a stem on the top of the pumpkin. And then from here, what I'm using is just a kebab skewer. So anything that's kind of pokey, that can make lines through the Model Magic to make it look like a pumpkin. So I printed out some Mickey eyes, nose, and a mouth and just poked with that kebab skewer around the outline of the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. So now I'm using a utility knife to go in and trim around my dots that I poked into the Model Magic. And then I just use my finger here in a second to smooth out the outlines of them so that they're not so harsh from pulling it off, but just don't cut too deep. Just kind of feel through the Model Magic and you should be good. So now it's time to paint. So I did grab my orange paint and I stuck it in a cupcake paper, and then I just started to paint around the pumpkin with the sponge paintbrush that I got from the Dollar Tree. So now I grabbed the brown paint and I'm going to start painting the top stem. Now going back, wish I would have painted it green. I think green would be really cute on there. If you guys have some extra green paint lying around, that would be cute. But I am just going to use some brown paint on the stem of the Mickey pumpkin. Now you're going to grab your yellow paint and we are going to paint the eyes, the mouth, and the nose yellow. I did put 2 coats of paint on each of those. So now on to the next Mickey project. We were gonna make mini Mickey pumpkins. So I got these pumpkins at the Dollar Tree. I will link down below my Dollar Tree video when I purchased these. So what we're gonna do is just start by taking them off of the packaging that they came in. The little ones do have some wire on them and I wanna keep the wire because I'm gonna trim that down when I stick them into the other pumpkins. Once you have your wire trimmed down, I left about 1/2 inch on my wire to stick into my pumpkins, and it will make a Mickey pumpkin once you get 2 pumpkins on the larger pumpkins. Now that I have all the small pumpkins on the larger pumpkins, I am going to take a little bit of that extra molding clay and I'm going to fill in the holes where I took off the stems off of the smaller pumpkins. So now I am going to take some of that orange paint and I am going to paint on top of the molding clay that I put on the top of the little pumpkins where the stem was. Now that we have the tops of the little pumpkins painted, I grabbed some spray paint and a container of water, and now what I'm going to do is just spray into the water the black spray paint. Let it sit for a second before you dip it. The first one I dipped did not come out very well. See how black it is? It's because I didn't let the paint sit for just a few seconds so that it would come out speckled. So those larger pumpkins, I don't know if you can see them here, but they're speckled. Like I said, I linked down below my Dollar Tree video when I got those so you can see what they look like a little bit better. I just did not like how that one came out, but my next ones, they came out perfect. See how the water looks a little less black and there's more speckles in there? That's what you want your water to look like once you dip your pumpkins so that they come out like that. So at this point, I decided I did not want to make any garlands. So I took the clips that were on the bottom of the larger pumpkins out and save those for later for maybe another DIY. But I'm just going to set the pumpkins on the mantle this year instead of having them strung out on the mantle. So here's the finished product of the Mickeys with the speckled paint. I hope you guys love this DIY. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Thanks, guys.